Technology hates me. What's up, guys? Chef Baker Cook. Gamer tag is, of course, Chef Baker. It's got a minus the cook because Chef Baker can't cook. Anyways, I apologize for not having a commentary out for the longest time. I got two reasons. One was technical difficulties, of course. The mic wasn't working. I clicked record, but the button wasn't prompted for ready to record. It was like my mic wasn't even plugged in or something. It's quite frustrating. It took me a long while to figure it out, but I did. And the second reason was I made a poor decision, and I've been moping around about it. I've been pissed off. I've been, it totally changed my perspective on how I look at myself. Because everyone views themselves in a certain way, like they're kind or this and that, they're tough, whatever. And the way I looked at myself was I was wise, I was kind, I was, all these different attributes. And then basically after I made my mistake, I started looking at myself completely the opposite, and I was beating myself up about it, calling myself stupid, and all these things. I was a horrible person. I was a piece of shit. All these things. And I was on this website. I recommend you check it out, stumbleupon.com, and there's quite a few. Like depends on interest, but I found there's one quote really spoke to me a few days after my mistake, and I was literally walking around calling myself stupid, piece of shit, mean, uncaring, just all these different things. And that quote, after it said you aren't the mistakes you've made, I just thought to myself, like, it really opened my eyes. Like, a good person can make a really bad decision, and then a bad person can make a really good decision, vice versa. No one's technically a good person, and no one's an evil person. It's just your decisions you make throughout the years or throughout the day even. And after reading that quote, my thoughts just completely went the opposite, because your thoughts really do control your emotions, and after your emotions have changed, your decisions will start changing. And I know you're probably curious, well, what did you do? So I'll just make up this story. So me and Billy and Tommy and Chucky we go out and we play pool on Fridays, let's say, for example. And all of a sudden, Tommy and Chucky and Billy, hopefully I said the same exact names, decide to drink, and I don't normally drink because I get aggressive or something, and I know that. So then we drink, and then some guy starts talking shit and saying I suck at pool and all that, and I get mad and I say, well, let's see you fucking play pool when you're fucking after 7 or 8 shots, you know what I mean? And then I start talking shit to them, which I'd normally not do. I just let someone, act tough, let them be big, you know what I mean? And their self-perspective is different from mine. They have to be tough, they have honor, they have too much pride, they ain't a bitch, they have all these fucking perspectives on themselves, and then they look at everyone else the exact opposite. Whereas me, I'm a nice guy, and I try to look for good. But tonight, because I decided to have shots with Billy, Tommy, and Chucky, I'm a different guy. I'm an aggressive asshole, I don't take shit from no one, so we start talking shit. And I have this honor when it comes to fighting, where you put your dukes up and you fight. But tonight, because I have made one bad decision, and one bad decision leads to another, basically, instead of putting my dukes up, my fists, sorry, I go for a sucker punch. I knock the guy out. I get on top of him. Pop, pop, pop. He's already out. I break his nose. I knock in some teeth. And I feel horrible. I don't feel horrible, but I'm pumped. I'm like happy, and all my friends are happy, and the whole bar is going crazy. I get kicked out, yada yada yada. So the next day I go to a store, grocery shopping, and I see the guy, and he's beat up, and he looks scared, and he sees me, and I feel bad because someone's scared of me. I don't like hurting people physically, emotionally, or spiritually. And I see this person scared shitless to see me, and he's walking in different aisles, and he's not making eye contact, and I don't feel good because I have power over someone. I feel good empowering people. So I feel totally crappy, and after grocery shopping or whatever, the next day I'm thinking to myself, I'm not wise, I'm stupid because I drank and I know how I get. I'm not kind, I beat the crap out of the guy, and I was all pumped and I was laughing with my friends while he was out cold, you know. I have no conscience, you know, I kept punching him after I knocked him out, and you know, punched him a couple more times after I seen his tooth flying and bloodlust happen, and I broke his nose, you know. And all these things in that moment were awesome, but when I come back to, and I'm not intoxicated or under the influence of anything, I feel horrible, you know. And it's crazy because anyone is capable of making a mistake. No matter how good you are, no matter how, you know what I mean, wise you are. And when you make a mistake, you tend to, like what I did, I beat myself over it for the longest time. And when I was bringing myself down, calling myself down, all of a sudden my emotions change, and I go from, you know, happy and making wise decisions and whatnot to making the exact opposite decisions just because I'm sad, you know. Instead of going out with my friends and having a good time, I'm moping around, being depressed, insulting myself. Instead of, you know, someone being really mean to me and I just brush it off and let them have the moment, because I'm sad or angry or whatever it may be, I get snappy and I'm a really mean person. But anyone is capable of being good or being evil, you know. Like if let's say you're in the military and some enemy kills your friends and your other comrades, you get put in charge of what you're going to do when, you know, your general says, okay, you're in charge, here's the key, here's the basement, lock them in, you can do whatever the hell you want, shock them, stab them, torture them, you know what I mean, do whatever you want. And when you're listening, you say, I would never do that to someone, I don't care what the situation is. You would be surprised because of how your emotions change how you think, and then how you think changes your decisions. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, you know, you could have a really greedy, self-centered kind of guy saying how he would spend all his lottery winnings, let's say, on himself, cars and houses and this and that and businesses, but he actually wins the lottery, and because he's happy, he decides to help kids out with their education and orphanages and disease, you know, like raising charity for diseases, and does exactly the opposite of what he said, just because of how he's feeling in that moment. So basically what I'm trying to say is, what you feel will affect how you make your decisions. So if you think positive and you control your emotions, you can make better decisions. Anyways, peace guys. Sorry it's been such a long time. Hope you enjoyed.